What is happening, everybody? My name is Bobby Sampson. This man right over here, usually in a tank top, but it's so cold, the man had to wear a sweater today. Mr. Chance Michaels, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good yourself?
Can't complain. Nice, messy top there, man.
Yeah, not bad. It's not bad.
Where does one procure that, or did you buy it online?
You know what, dude? I'll tell you right, everybody right now, go into Walmart. That's where I got it. Messy
Really?
hoodies, messy shirts, and awesome messy shorts. 25, $30. Can't beat it.
Okay, maybe I'll go check that out because I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of
huge
the
selection. They got for kids and they got for men and women. It's
you see when I go to Walmart, I always look for like rock band shirts,
yeah. That's where I got some ACDCs and stuff.
right?
But
I've never looked for any of that kind of stuff because it just I never thought about it, right?
yeah.
But for me, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I noticed it
stuff.
a few weeks ago when I was doing some shopping. I was like, holy crap, there's tons of messy stuff. Might as well get it now because they don't keep it forever, right? It comes in
No,
for a
no,
bit
it's
and then it
true.
goes.
It's
So
like I found some obscure T-shirts that I would not have found anywhere else except London at Walmart before,
yeah, exactly.
right? It's just phenomenal. I like it, and you can't go wrong for the price. $25 for a T-shirt.
Exactly. And they got shorts there, there's
Yeah, yeah.
hoodies. So
No, it's good. It's good, and the groceries are
even
cheap.
Brian, what do you think of Brian's getting those messy stuff from? I'm getting them from Walmart for him.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
He's got like a blue
He's got the blue
sweatpants like this,
T-shirt.
a shirt,
Yeah,
yeah, and the
yeah.
pants. He got sweatpants too.
Oh, okay. I haven't
Mm,
seen those yet, but all right.
yeah.
Um, wow. Wow, wow, wow. We have a lot to talk about, Mr. Michaels, man. The Royal Rumble, the road to WrestleMania is officially on its way. One show in the bag. Here we go. Anything is anything, anything is possible as we get closer and closer to Vegas. And because Mania is later in the month this year, it's up in the air. Everything that we know right now in a month's time could be completely different.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Royal Rumble. First off, I was annoyed that it started at 3 o'clock, but I thought, hey, you know what? This is brilliant because it's going to finish by 6. It's going to lead right into the BBC card. But man, this thing went 4.5 hours. But sorry, before I let you chime in here, it didn't feel like 4.5 hours to me, man. It was fun. The whole show was good. The best part for me was the 2 out of 3 falls, which was a good match. Don't get me wrong, but it perfect timing because I had to go make dinner for the client and it gave me the opportunity to walk away and not miss either Rumble
Yeah.
or the Cody match. So I used that match to go and do what I had to do at work, which was great, which was perfect. um Overall, what did you say?
It was a good show. I enjoyed it. Too long though. 4.5 hours is just too long. They could have cut out that tag team match. I mean, that's a SmackDown match. It wasn't a bad match per se, but didn't need it. It was a good Rumble. I said last week Jey Uso was going to win it, and he did. But like I said, you could see all the kids wearing the shirt. This Yeet movement is like the Yes movement, Kofi movement. I'm glad they gave it to Jay. He deserves it. Like you said before, you can't keep giving it to Rollins and Punk and Cena all the time. You need to have some new young blood up there. So I was happy with that. I thought the men's match was really good. Um, Women's match was good too. It was a good Rumble, just way too long. 4.5 hours is too long. What I had to do is I was watching Rumble on my phone, then I had the boxing on the big screen, right? But four
I
and a half
went
hours is
back.
too long.
I went,
No
yeah,
matter how good the show is, it's just too long.
I went back and watched the boxing. I just wanted to focus on the Rumble. It was just too
Yeah.
much going on in there to pay attention to both. I mean, I could have done it, but um, I kind of just
And,
wanted to focus on
and
it.
another thing that I really, really enjoyed about the Rumble, probably my favorite part about the men's Rumble, wasn't just picking the right guy to win it. It was when Logan Paul eliminated CM Punk, because the week before that he was mocking Logan Paul to Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul comes and takes him over the top rope. So when they have an elimination chamber match, you're going to see them going at it and possibly a feud down the line with these two guys, which would be a money feud if they went at it because they both are good on the mic.
Yeah,
So
no,
overall, it was a good. And one more thing on the Rumble: Cody versus Owens. I was skeptical about that match because neither one of those guys are some of my favorites, but man, they worked their butts off. They took hard falls, hard hits, hard bumps, great selling. That was a hard hitting ladder match, and my hats off to those guys. It was a great match.
I think people have to understand, and I can say this from experience. I'm not saying it's happened to me numerous times or multiple times, but I've been put through a table and
Mm-hmm.
I've been hit with a chair by, some of the indie guys here locally, just to see what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were trying extra hard or if they were being stiff. I don't care who you are, how prop the things are or whatnot. It still hurts.
Oh yeah.
It still hurts. And those ladders were stationary. They weren't bending. They weren't,
No, those are real. Those are regular ladders you use to go up on your roof. Yeah.
no, no, 100%. But what I mean is the way, okay, for example, the Alabama Slam, the one at
Mm.
the end there with
Great move.
One, Kevin Owens, say what you might about him, but the man can sell,
Oh, absolutely. And he's tough. He
right?
takes a hard bump.
And the way he crumbled, the way he went through, I don't know if that was planned or if it just worked out the way it did. The visuals on that, there's not much in wrestling that makes me go, oh, anymore.
Mm.
But that particular move and the one that he did to Cody in the ring on the side of the ladder, I mean, those ladders were put in position. Yeah, they bounced a little bit, but man, those had to hurt.
Oh yeah, they worked a great match, dude, and I was very proud of both of them because
Yeah.
I was skeptical about it, but hey, they won me over, and it was a hard hitting, well done match. Cody had to win it. We don't want Kevin Owens winning that belt there, and it was a good match. And overall, the women's match was a good Royal Rumble too, having Charlotte win it, and they delivered a good pay per view. It's just too long is my only complaint about it, but I probably would have booked it exactly how they booked it if I was in charge.
Well, you know what? Honestly, 4.5 hours, 4 matches. I mean, considering the Rumbles were long themselves, right? I mean, it's just insane that they still were able to pull off 4.5 hours on it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it didn't for me, anyways. Maybe other people out there, it didn't feel like 4.5 hours. Going into this Rumble, I had picked Seth and Sammy as my dark horse. And to be honest, man, when I was watching some of this stuff happen, I'm thinking, okay, this is potentially can go this way.
Could have, yeah.
I was talking to some guys and I kind of, fantasy booked it in my head. And I thought, okay, during the Cody match, he comes out. I'm talking about Sammy.
Yep.
And he somehow costs Cody the title.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, if that happens, then Sammy somehow, Kevin comes out and allows him to win. You know what I mean? I
know what you're saying.
Like it was potentially there. It was potentially there. But the men's Rumble having one, what I really enjoyed was having Seth, John, Roman, and Punk, all four of them in the ring at the same time. We're not going to get that ever again. We might get, pairs of them, this or that, but not in that situation. You know what I mean? That was kind of a nostalgia part. But the way they were eliminated altogether like that, that was the shocking part of the show. Because, like you said, majority of us, including myself, we all had it. One of those guys kind of winning it, sort of a deal. Not really looking at, and shame on me. I should have seen that happening. I should have potentially pigeonholed.
I'll tell you guys why I picked Jay. Not because I'm a huge fan of him. I do like him. The reason why I was picking Jay is because, well, one, my kid loves the guy. But it's not just my kid. I see other kids at school. Not even hardcore wrestling fans like my son is. They're wearing Yeet shirts.
Yeah.
Yeet is all over TikTok. It's all over X.
Yeah.
Even just like regular people saying Yeet, and they're calling it out. It's a word that's catching on. It's like a pop culture word.
It's in the dictionary now.
And then I'm thinking to myself, we've already seen Rollins. We've already seen Old Man Punk. We've seen John Cena. It's too obvious. Why not shake it up? Give it to Jay, because it's like the Yes movement is a new thing, and that's why they did it. And my hats off to them. It was great booking. I would have done the same thing if I had the books. I would have gave it to Jay.
Well, here's the thing.
Look at the reaction last night in Raw. The crowd went
no, and this is where I think I got lost on it.
People are mad about it.
Right. But when you look at the Kingston movement, Kofi movement, right? He didn't win it in the Royal Rumble. Obviously, he won it through the Elimination Chamber. But Kingston movement and the Yes movement, those were movements that were we already knew about them, and they were using them as the storyline, right? This whole Yeet thing. Yes, it's popular with all the kids. Even my little one, my daughter, she keeps asking me, "Daddy, have you bought me my sunglasses yet?" And I've ordered them, but because of the strike and this and that, it is what it was. But even she loves Jey Uso, but it's not being forced down the throat. It's not being a storyline that this guy deserves it. Blah blah blah. Yeah, they call him main event Jey Uso, but the story, his popularity, has not been used to build his case for this. Right now, what I find most disappointing are all the stupid clown shoes in their basements, waiting for their dinner from their mom, complaining about it because they don't like it. Like you said, we've seen Seth in main events. Okay, I can go back to San Francisco when Brock and like all the way from Brock and Roman when Seth came in and cashed in. From that forward on, who's been in the main events?
Exactly.
All of those guys that we've just mentioned, right? Year after year after year, we're getting different renditions of these same guys, and it's time to change it up.
Exactly.
Now, and I'm happy with that. Now, on the women's side, I really enjoyed that Rumble as well. Good. A lot of the girls that were in that ring all came from NXT too, that are on the main roster, and I think that the girls put on a really good show as well.
They
That
did.
one elimination, like here's the difference between the two. First 15 girls, I believe, were all in the Rumble at the same time,
Something like that, yeah.
right? That big chunk of them were in there. There wasn't an elimination until maybe 15 or 16 happened. So that's an interesting way. And the way they eliminated a whole chunk of them at the same time was insane,
Hmm.
right? No real surprises in either Rumble per se. In fact, if you look at the men's, there was no NXT guys in there. The
Yeah,
only outside guy that was there was Joe Hendry from TNA, the TNA World Champion.
yeah.
And on the other side, the biggest pop of the night for me, and I'm so happy she's back. We haven't touched on it. Alexa Bliss. I love it. I loved her when she was here before. I don't know what she's going to do, but I know she's going to be on the Raw brand.
Yeah.
But she's back. That was probably the biggest pop of the night
Yeah. So
on either Rumble.
yeah. So my only complaints, like it was a good show. I enjoyed it. I probably would have booked it the same as they did. I had a couple things I would complain about. Number one, there's no way, I don't care who booked the Rumbles, Pritchard, Khan, Triple H, there's no way you guys can tell me there's 30 men better than Austin Theory. There's just no way those 30 guys are better than him. He should have been in the Rumble. Another thing they made a big mistake on, what's one of the best parts about the Royal Rumble is having that Braun's big, but I'm talking about the Giants, is having Big Show, having Andre, having Omos in the Rumble. You get 6 or 7 guys grabbing a leg, grabbing an arm, trying to throw him out. They didn't throw Omos in the Rumble. That was a huge letdown. I didn't want him to win it, but he should have came in there and kicked a couple butts.
I get it. But at the same time, you keep saying we got to bring him back. We got to bring him back. But is this the place to bring back Omos? In my opinion, just to have him eliminated. You know what I mean? Like he's doing great work in Japan.
Yeah, but nobody knows about that though.
Yeah, but if
he could have knocked out. He could have knocked out a couple guys, a couple.
No, he could have.
Right?
But I mean, that Rumble was so stacked that the fact of the matter that there was no Kofi. There was no Xavier. They got big storylines going on, right?
No Austin Theory,
no Austin Theory, no one from the Wyatt Sick.
Was Grayson Waller out there?
Grayson wasn't even in it.
Grayson wasn't out there.
You think about it, there's a handful of guys, you're right, that didn't make it, but I think it's only because of how many of the top stars were in there that are normally not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Roman hasn't been in a Royal Rumble for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but just Austin is so young. You got to get the young guys.
I get it. Hey, dude, I get it completely, right? But I mean, again, like I said, there was no one from NXT. I thought Trick was going to show up, right? Yeah. I mean, I thought maybe 1 or 2 guys from NXT could have been there. You wanted to bring in a big man? Oba Ferry should have been in there, NXT champion.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I'd throw him out there too.
He's a huge man, right? He should have been out there, but he wasn't out there either. So it just, I get it. It just, there's only, like you said, there's only 30 spots.
Yeah.
So based on what trajectory and where they're thinking and the way they want to go here, like, talk is that we're probably going to get Drew and Damian at Mania now. That's going to be one of the matches.
That'd be a good match.
It's going to be a fun match, right? So one of the things talking about
2 big guys that work hard. I like that.
Yeah. Drew was very pissed off during his elimination.
Yeah, you were saying that. Tell everybody what you're talking about. Who doesn't know?
So basically what happened was after Drew got eliminated by Damian, he went to the back. He was fuming. He was so pissed off. Why? Because LA Knight and Logan Paul were trying to get all their stuff in, but they were in the frame when they were supposed to be focusing on the elimination. That was the highlight, right? So he was pissed off about their positioning, this and that. He's calmed down. Everything's cool. But I mean, that's in the heat of the moment. That shows you how much passion the man has.
I like that. It shows that he cares. Exactly.
He cares, right? And, a guy like LA Knight, I'm not going to put this on Logan because Logan's still green in that sense. Yeah. Not necessarily movement wise, but in terms of
where to be and stuff.
Where to be and stuff. So LA Knight should have done a better job there. But I mean, that
I was just don't think they even meant to. They're just caught up in the moment doing their thing, and
No, it's one of those things, but maybe Drew realized that after the fact, but in the moment, I love that passion.
Me too. Right? Drew's one of my favorites.
He was angry. He was pissed off that, this was not supposed to be the way it was supposed to be. And I have no problem with that. Now, let's talk about Jey Uso really quickly here, because this world of the internet is seeming to shit on him like nobody's business. Yeah,
they're choked. Right? They wanted
they're choked. Right. But it doesn't make sense to have that way. It worked out just to find the way it was. And I feel bad for Jey because if anybody the dude's put his time in. Okay,
15 years.
tag team champion, whatever the case you want to call it, whatever. Yeah, that's where he got his mark from. Okay, but I mean, not everyone can be like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty and go off onto a solo career like Shawn did.
Yeah.
Right. I think the decision was fine. And the promo that he had Gunther, we talked about this on the phone this morning. I want to see him fight Gunther personally because it makes more sense. Gunther's promo on him last night, yeah, you're right. Jay needs to be a better on the mic. And I think over time, now that he has more of this privilege to talk,
Yeah,
he's going to be able to do it, right?
I hope so.
I hope so too. And I'm going to wait to see before we pass judgment on that. But for me, Gunther versus Jay is the match to make because just what Gunther was saying last night. I don't want you to pick me.
Yeah.
If you pick me, I'm going to humiliate you every week because you are not at my level.
I like that.
Which is funny because you look at how long Gunther's been in the company opposed to where Jay's been and what he's done and what he's grinded. Like, here's the reality of it, boys and girls. I mean, look, we can sit here and complain and analyze, but the grind is real.
Oh, yeah.
The flights is real. The time away from your families is real. The rental cars, the hotels, the working out, all of it's real. It's a real grind.
Oh,
and Jay is one of the last people of that generation that had to do 4 to 5 day the loops. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The 4 or 5 day loops with 2 days off. One of those days is flying.
Yeah.
So you're 1 day off, you get home, you have half a day off, you're doing your laundry, you're fixing your gear. You technically have 1 day off technically before you're back at the airport the next day and flying out again.
Yeah.
Where most of this talent now, because the way Ari set it up, they've cut out house shows. Right? Where there was over 300 house shows a year, there's maybe 200 now.
Yeah.
Maybe 150.
Yeah.
Right?
I like Jay, and I'm glad that he won because you can't deny his popularity. You can't deny the movement. Look at the crowd at Raw; they're going nuts for the guy. The kids love him. The teenagers love him. That's the main thing here. Not a bunch.
And it was organic. It wasn't forced.
I'm going to bring this up. So I was telling you. So when Stone Cold won the heavyweight championship, the first thing Vince does, McMahon, he calls Vince through and says, "You're working with Stone Cold 24/7. He's your number one priority. You're going to help him with his promos. You're going to edit them. You're going to help him write. You can do all these things because he's our champion. He needs to be the best talker." So you look at what happened yesterday. The crowd went nuts, but then Jay got on the mic. It was not a good promo. It lacks whatever it was. He's not good at his words, whatever you want to call it. He needs somebody backstage. I don't care who it is to write him some promos. He needs to produce a better promo. He needs to practice it because that was a very, very after winning the Rumble and that big entrance, a 10-minute entrance is too long. And then you're going to get on the mic after 14 minutes. We have to wait to hear you talk, and then you drop the ball with your stick work. They got to work on his stick work if they want him to capture and hold the momentum he's got right now, or he's going to start falling down.
No, and I'm not going to disagree with you. That's fine. That's totally.
And I'm glad he won the Rumble. I said he was going to win. I like the guy, but he's got to up his game.
No, it's great. And, Charlotte winning as well totally makes sense. I want to touch on Charlotte here very quickly. Yep. Is it just me, or every time she returns, she has a different face?
She's definitely had some work done. Yeah.
Right? Like every time she comes back, she looks a little bit different.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? And, again,
a lot of Botox, some surgery there. Yeah.
Right? Like just a lot. Like, I don't get it. I just I get it, but I don't get it.
Some people get addicted to that surgery and stuff. Just maybe it's an addiction for her. She always wants to look better, I guess.
No, and she looks great. Now, her winning, who do you want to see her face?
That's a good question, man. I don't know.
For me, personally, I think I have no problem if she goes for Rhea again because of the match that they put on.
Yeah.
But after watching the co-main event on the boxing later, maybe that's not a great idea. We'll talk about that in the boxing show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe they won't be able to deliver what they gave us in 39.
I wouldn't go back to because they delivered a classic. I don't think you need to do that again. I don't know. She can go against.
But it's a rubber match too, though, because they have one against each other, right? Now tonight, as we're recording here on a Tuesday morning, she's going to go to NXT tonight to confront Julia, right? I don't see that happening. I just think it's just more her making her rounds.
Yeah.
The match, in my opinion, is her and Tiffany.
That's a good match. Tiffany
They
Stratton and
both
her.
come from the same kind of background, gymnastics, but university sports and
Yeah,
her
both great
being
athletes.
volleyball.
Yep.
Both great athletes. Both have the same kind of look, the blonde hair, this and that. I mean, you could say that she's kind of a little Charlotte in a way.
Mm-hmm. That's
A
fair.
younger version of Charlotte opposed to the Queen. And I almost feel that her and Tiffany would be the match to make for Mania.
You might be onto something with that. It's very
Right?
possible. I'm not sure which way they're going with Charlotte. I think they're still going to figure that out, but you
But
could be right with that.
we don't know. Like right up until the last 2 weeks or last 2 weeks before Mania, we really don't know. Anything can change, right? We
Yeah.
still have the Elimination Chambers coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still bound to happen. So, in my opinion, I think Jay should go with Gunther. Just based on the fact that I think it would just be so fresh and so new.
Yeah.
It's something different. And if you talk about making stars, this is the gamble that you have to take and put some of these guys in that position.
Well, Jay's winning. Whether Jay takes on Cody or Gunther, he's walking out with that belt at Mania.
And unless Cody turns heel in the next month or so, I'm not interested in that match.
You could just feel that you could feel there's going to be good chemistry because Gunther's better on the stick than Jay.
Yeah.
Gunther can carry the promo work.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
You know what I
mean? But just him and Cody does not make sense to me. I'm not invested in that.
Well, you can't have two faces going at it. So you're right. Unless Cody turns, which he's not, it's probably going to be Jay and Gunther.
Right, and then that leaves where does Cody go? Like who challenges for him? Because the way I'm looking at what happened after the Rumble, let's talk about that. Seth Rollins losing his mind, curb stomping Roman in the head.
I think we're going to see a three-way match. I think we're going to see Rollins and Reigns and Punk in a three-way dance.
Which was what I was telling you, right? I said that's potentially another match that we're going to see. I mean, coming out of that Rumble, that potentially could be a match right there. So again, that leaves who challenges Cody.
Maybe Jacob Fatu.
If he's in there.
Depends who's in the chamber, yeah.
Right. Here's another name that wasn't in there. Jacob was in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he's in there.
We're Solo.
Maybe he's hurt.
You know what I mean? It's just like that was another guy who could have beat him there. So WrestleMania is so up in the air right now, which is kind of fun because nothing is concrete. The only thing that I can really see right now that could concrete is the Jay Gunther feud.
Yeah, I think it's going to go that way. He's going to confront Cody on SmackDown. I think they're going to wait and see if that has more heat and that has more chemistry. They might go that way, but to look at it right now, you're probably right with Jay versus Gunther.
Yeah, I think that just makes more sense. And then on the women's side, Charlotte and Tiffany, that makes the most sense right now. It's built in, it's fresh, it's different.
So now we know whoever wins the Elimination Chamber men's side is going to be a heel because that's going to go against Cody, right?
Potentially, it could be Cena for all we know.
Yeah.
Right? If you watch the post show, Cena in his comments said that coming in here, he just wanted to have fun. He wanted to do this. But now he realizes, and they're bringing back this term again, what's best for business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We haven't heard that in a while.
No.
Right? So he's saying, what's best for business? Go back and listen to it. I'm paraphrasing. Don't quote me on this. It's not verbatim. But in a nutshell, he basically said that I am going for number 17. I'm going to headline WrestleMania because that's what's best for business, because that's what people want to see. I'm not winning number 17 for myself. I'm winning it so that whoever wins 18, I can be there and shake their hand, sort of a deal. Now, that being said, though, him and Cody, I don't know if I want to see that either. Here's what I think might happen, though. And I don't know if this is considered a world title then, though. John Cena versus John Henry for the TNA Championship.
I don't think you can put him in there with a guy like Joe Henry. Doesn't have enough steam, doesn't have enough credibility.
He does, though. He does. Dude, he does. Just because you're not seeing it, right?
I don't think you can waste the last John Cena's last match. I know you got to put the young guy over, but he's so far down the totem pole. There's so many other guys
you could use. He would do that, though. I could potentially see something like that happening. I'm just saying, because I don't know where John's going to win 17.
I don't think it serves a purpose for John Cena to win a TNA title and beat a guy that nobody knows who he is. I don't think it serves a purpose. Personally, I think if John he doesn't have to win a title at Mania, he can win it at another paper.
No, I get it. But the way they're building the story, right? So we know that Punk and Cena so far in the Elimination Chamber. There's 4 spots left.
And
One's
most
going to be
likely Logan Paul when he beats Ray next on Raw.
right if he beats him. You
He
never
will.
know. The way they book things these days, like you say, you
Yeah,
never
you never know.
know,
But I'm
right?
assuming Logan. But
Right. So, if Logan's in there, then you got 3 of those guys. Then who else is going to be in there? Blah blah blah. But either way you look at it,
I
I
think Jacob
almost think,
Fatu will probably get in there.
you know what I think might happen? Sammy might find his way in there somehow.
Yeah.
Sammy wins, and I'd rather see Sammy and Cody at Mania.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Right? I just see it because the more Sammy's losing, it's gonna affect him eventually
Yeah.
to the point where it's gonna flip. And I have a feeling it's gonna be something like that. But who knows? We don't know yet. We don't know. We got a long way to go before that happens.
Another thing that I was shocked about is the IWC. They're kind of turning on Jey Uso a little bit. Another guy they're turning on, which I never thought would happen. They used to hate this guy, and now they love this guy, and now they're mocking him a little bit. And I thought they'd be through the roof. And what I'm talking about is the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame. That whole Triple H, the whole Undertaker and Shawn surprising Triple H was a complete work. He knew. But what they're saying, and I kind of agree with it a little bit, they're saying, wait a minute, you're back. He's not an owner. He's not an executive. All Triple H does is book the shows. People have to understand that. So they're getting mad because Triple H is going in the Hall of Fame. He's already in there with DX, right? So this will be a second entry. They're saying, well, guess who never put himself in the Hall of Fame? You couldn't even mention his name. Vinnie Mac. So here you see Triple H putting himself in the Hall of Fame. Hold on. He's going to go up there. He's going to gloat. He's going to tell you it's a new era and how amazing he is. And he knew that, obviously, that surprise was a work. It's wrestling. He knew it was coming. To me, if I'm Nick Connery, I would be like, no, we're not putting you in, because if you're trying to be this amazing booker, you're putting yourself in. It's a huge ego move. He's becoming an egomaniac. He's obviously very insecure. He's trying to outshine his father-in-law, which he can't even carry Vince's bags. He'd even tell you that. To me, he doesn't need to go in the Hall of Fame. Right now, he's already in. There's no need to put him in right now. That's how I see it. And to me, it's a huge ego thing. He's going to get up there and gloat, and Shawn will induct him, and they'll be crying. It's just like, dude, is it really necessary?
Well, you know what? I've always maintained that Triple H and Undertaker are my 2 favorite guys.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at Triple H going into the Hall of Fame, you can say the same thing about Booker T. He's been put in there twice.
But I'm not complaining that Triple H is not there twice. But if you're the booker, you don't need to put yourself in.
No, I appreciate what you're saying, but at the same time, you look at the man's work, the body, his career.
He deserves it,
right? Like, I don't have a problem with it. I'd rather talk about this once I see who else is going in with him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else goes in.
But my thing is this: he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame with DX, and Triple H is a top 20 wrestler of all time. He's not a Mount Rushmore. He's not a top 10, but he's an all-time great. Nobody can deny it. I like him as a wrestler. However, Vinnie Mac never put himself in, and you're putting yourself in. They could say it was a surprise. He didn't know. He knew. Of course he knows. It's his wife, and to me, you deserve it, but not right now. Not if you're the booker. They're starting to kind of see what I've been saying. But the guy's the biggest egomaniac you're ever going to meet. He's always putting himself over. He's talking about himself all the time instead of he does put the product over too, but he just seems very insecure that he just wants that gratification, and he deserves it, but not right now.
Okay, well, fair enough, brother. You know what? I at the moment, I don't have an issue with it because, like I said,
it's getting a lot of heat.
Well,
you kind of see no matter. No, I'm just saying, you're kind of seeing that old Triple H, the guy who politicked Vinny, the guy who became friends with Shawn and Nash, the guy who married the boss's daughter.
We live in a world where everybody complains about everything every day. Okay, we can talk about the conversation we had this morning. It's just like people.
But it's like, if you want to, but they were saying is, if you want to come to Vince's, which you'll never be, but if you want to try to get to Vince's level, he had a thing. Don't even mention me. Well, all the time now. Last Ultimate, you heard Paul Heyman just gloating about Triple H. He's so insecure as a booker, and he's such an egomaniac that he should be like, wait a minute, nobody talk about me. This show is about you guys. It's about WWE audience. It's about what you've done. Don't talk about me in the new era. Don't talk about how much I'm a cool boss and the cool friend. But wait a minute, you can. And the next year I'm going to put myself in. It's too much.
Everyone's opinion, brother, man. I appreciate it. For me, I'm okay with it now. But like I said, I want to see who else is in there with him, right? So that's all I'm waiting for, and then I'll pass the judgment on it. But as it
But
stands,
I don't even care who's in there with him, whether it's the greatest Hall of Fame class of all time or the worst. Either way, he doesn't need to be in there. Not if you're in that role. You don't need to do it now. He's what, 50? Who was he, 55, 56? He doesn't need to go in right now.
well, either way, it is what
Honestly,
it is, man.
the
But like
huge
I said,
ego.
everyone's gonna complain about everything. You know what I mean? That's just the world we live in. No one's ever gonna be happy with
And
me.
none of that. And the problem is with the people and the media that they let into these press conferences, they're all handpicked by WWE. So nobody's going to actually ask them a tough question. Hey, Triple H, why are you putting yourself in the Hall of Fame? Why were you doing that when your father on ever did that? We know you're not an owner, you're not an executive, but that's a huge ego move. What do you say about that? Nobody would ever ask them that because they'll get the press pass for vote,
Yeah,
right?
well, it is what it is, brother, man. It's
So,
just the world we live in, my friend. The world
I
we
don't like
live
it,
in.
but
No, fair enough. All right, I tell you what, brother, man. I think we've kind of covered everything. We haven't really touched on AEW. Anything stand out for you this week?
the shows have been getting a little bit better. Dynamite's been getting a little bit better. Um, Will Ospreay, I'm like, he's always good. Jarrett's doing some good work. Some of his best work that he's done in a while, but he hasn't been around that much lately. So it's on again tomorrow, and they're getting a little bit of momentum.
I
But
want to talk about Jericho.
yeah, go ahead.
His movie came out, Dark Match. Have you heard about it?
No,
Okay, so a good friend of mine. You've never met him, but you know him. He's a director. His name is Rusty.
no, I've met him
Rusty
many
Nixon,
times. Yeah, I've met him many times.
and
I don't know him well though. But
one of
yeah,
my closest friends. Me
yeah,
and him go back to the age of 13, 14 years old.
yeah.
We used to tape trade. We did everything. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And he came out with a movie called Death Rumble.
Yeah, seen that one. Yeah.
Okay, this is not identical, but it's pretty damn close to that movie.
And this is Jericho's movie, you're saying?
Yes.
So he got the idea from there.
He got the idea because one of the girls that was in the movie, Christine Von Airy,
Mm-hmm.
when she was down in TNA or in AEW doing, trying to work out or doing
Mm-hmm.
whatever she was doing in there, she mentioned the film to Jericho then.
I would totally believe it. Dude, he's always rubbed me the wrong way. I've never liked the
Right?
guy.
You look at the synopsis of Dark Match and compare it to the synopsis of Death Rumble. And I talked to Rusty about it on Sunday morning.
What do you say?
He was laughing because he already knew about it. And like, dude, what the hell? Like, it's just like, it's not copyright, but it is so damn close to copyright infringement. And he said, like, you know what, though? The one benefit is people are recognizing his film as well because they see it coming up
I
when
hope
they're
some
looking
people
for it.
online are saying to Jericho, "Hey, where'd you get this idea from?" And some people somebody's going to start writing that to him on X or Facebook. I hope.
Well, dude, I think, you're the champion of X. I think you should put it out there.
I will. I'll throw that out there in a nice
Do
way.
it, man. Like it's the concepts are so
Death
close.
Rumble was good. I enjoyed it, so I want to see what this is and check it out and see if it's similar. And
Yeah, yeah.
I'll write
No,
it to him.
if you have the box, it's on the box.
Dark match.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll check it out.
it's called Dark Match. It came up on the weekend, and I looked it up. I haven't watched it. I just read the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds so like Death Rumble,
Yeah,
right? So it just blew my mind. I'm like, come on, man.
there's just something about Jericho. I'm not denying his talent, but he's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way from his music to his promos. I don't know, something about the guy.
I lost respect for Chris Jericho when he left WWE because he was the number 2 match at WrestleMania.
He didn't like that.
Right? You're at WrestleMania. It doesn't matter where you're put on the card. If anyone should know that, it should be him. Right? A
I'm
veteran
glad
like
Vinny
that.
let him walk. I would have too. You don't like it, see ya.
Well, dude, and
You're 50 years old now, dude.
well, he's well past his, I think he's well past his welcome.
1,000%. He's a legend. Nobody's denying
He's
it.
a legend.
But yeah, he's
right. But I mean, just looking at him and just the way he is and whatnot.
Another thing that pisses me off about him a little bit, or rubs me the wrong way, you're sitting there saying you stood up to Brock Lesnar. Okay, yeah, you stood up to him, but you didn't actually fight him. You got in his face. People pulled you off. Lesnar would rip you limb to limb, dude. So like, stop. He doesn't say he could beat him up. He's like, I'm not scared. I'm like, dude, Lesnar would rip you to pieces in 2
If
seconds.
nobody was around, I don't know if he would have gone up to him the way he did.
Heck no, he wouldn't have. Dude.
Right?
Nobody would pull him off.
Right? Brock would eat him for dinner and use his arm as a toothpick after.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, right? I hope. Yeah, I believe it. If Christy Von Airy showed him about it, yeah, he probably got an idea and ran with it.
Yeah, and because she told him like, yeah, we did this movie, blah blah blah, and this is coming from Rusty. Rusty told me this.
I believe it. I totally
right.
believe it.
So, guys and gals out there, if you're listening, make sure you check out Death Rumble. It's a great film,
It is good.
very, very well done.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an independent film, but you know what? If you're a wrestling fan, you gotta enjoy it. And the characters in there played really, really well. The main big bad guy there, chicken. Like, I mean, it's just one of those lines that just stands out in my head, right?
It's a
Like, I
good
mean,
movie. Rusty did a good job. The acting, actresses acting by the men was good. It's a good film.
no,
If you like
overall, it
wrestling,
was
you'll
really
enjoy
good.
it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, and just check it out, man. I'm telling you, I haven't seen Deathmatch yet, but it, it's it's identical,
I believe it.
right? Almost. It was just weird. All right, brother man, let's wrap this baby up. The weather is cold. Tell me how cold it is in Abbey.
-8 with the wind chill.
Wow.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, it's
so
cold.
it's not too bad here. I'm -1.
Okay, yeah, it's cold. It's windy here.
Right, but you got that silly ass wind, man. I
That's
hate
the
that.
wind. That's what the wind chill is -8. Yeah, I was cooking at the school this morning. There's
No need. No need for that
snow
wind.
blowing everywhere, ice everywhere. Kids are slipping around. Like I'm surprised they didn't call the school off.
Well, I mean, you guys had yesterday off, right?
We had yesterday off. Yeah,
Yeah,
Abbotsford and Chilliwack had yesterday
yeah.
off.
We
Even Langley
we
was open.
yeah we. Well, here's the deal, man. My commute from there yesterday up until 2:32, the roads were literally just ice and snow. Once you pass that exit, it just opened up.
Hmm.
There was nothing. We got a dump last night here in Vancouver, um, but they've never shut the schools down here, so I had to take the little one. But I'll give it up, man. The city of Burnaby, city of Vancouver, done a great job on all the major routes, on the main
That's
roads,
good.
right? There are no excuses for anybody. If you don't have snow tires, though, I highly recommend please stay off the roads because
Yeah,
you're fucking it up for the people that do have snow tires.
it's the
That
other
I
ones
hate.
just slide into everybody.
Well,
They can't
that's the
control the
problem, right?
braking.
I mean, I can, if you're going to drive, be prepared and go out there with the right equipment. If not, stay home.
Yeah,
It's not fair to the people who put and invest the money into making sure their vehicles are properly, set up for all of it. Granted, if someone hits me from behind, it's going to be completely their fault, blah, blah, blah. But do I want that
it's a
hassle?
pain in the butt though, man.
Right?
Well,
And
they
my
have this
car's
no
only,
fault accident stuff now too, right? You got to be careful
and my,
sometimes,
and
right?
my car's a newborn,
Yeah,
right? And I got to tell you, man, for a sports car like that, I've had no problems with my
I'm
car.
driving good. You got good tires too, right? That
Oh, dude,
helps.
I got amazing tires. Like I have full winter tires, right?
Yeah,
But just there's some, and again, having manual again. I know we're completely off the topic here, but driving a manual in this weather is a godsend. I don't care what anybody says, because when you press your brakes down in an automatic in this kind of weather, you're gonna feel the slide and shift.
yeah.
Now, being able to downshift keeps your car so steady.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's more enjoyable to drive. It keeps you alert. It keeps you engaged with the road too,
Love
right?
it, love it, love it. I just feel like I'm reborn.
It's good, man. It always feel good having a new car, right? It
It's
feels
not even
awesome.
that. It's just the manual. It's not even the new car. It's just having that control again,
Yeah,
you know?
no,
And the other changes that I've made in my life in the last couple of weeks, I mean, it's just like I feel
it's good, man.
right.
Keep it
Awesome.
up.
All right, brother man. I tell you what, let's wrap this puppy up. Let's call it a day. Let's move on. NXT tonight. Charlotte Flair is going to be in there as well. If you guys are watching this, I will be hopefully this is happening so I'm not sure, but I'm going to be on a wrestling roundtable again tonight at about 5
Hmm.
p.m. Pacific. It's going to be on YouTube Live. We're going to go out there, myself, Big Mike from the 313, Professor Bear, and I feel horrible. I can't remember the other fellow's name right now.
Joseph Monroe.
Joseph Monroe. Thank you, brother.
Mhm.
We had an amazing go at it last week.
That was good.
It was a lot of fun. I haven't posted it. I'm gonna rip it. I'm gonna post it up on our show so you guys can, check it out there on our channel. But yeah, I think we're gonna go in there again tonight. And
And I don't care if anybody says, man, Professor Bear has one of the best laughs in all of podcasting.
he's got that real brother laugh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it, man. It's hilarious. He's a fun guy. He's
Yeah.
goofy, fun. He knows his stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to hear. I'll get on one of these roundtables when my kid doesn't have hockey and jump
No,
in.
no,
But
for
they're
sure,
all
man.
nice guys, and I enjoyed the conversation. I listened to the whole thing. I was chiming in, and it was good.
Yeah, no, it was a
I'll
lot
be
of
doing it
fun.
again from the hockey rink in the stands. I'll be listening with my
Do it, do
headphones
it.
and chiming
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Hopefully it happens. I'm still waiting to hear back.
Mm,
But he reached out to me yesterday. I said, yeah, man, I would love to do it again. That was a
mm.
lot of fun. I love doing the podcast with you, brother man. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes that intensity just kind of, you know what I mean, between
Yeah,
us,
ours is more of a debate show. Theirs is more just
back and forth
casual
dialogue.
conversation.
Yeah, right. And that was fun, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
only thing missing was a couple pints
Mhm.
and a Crown Royal, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But it was just fun. It was
No, you
just
guys did a good job. I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
it was a lot of fun. All right, brother man. Again, for the third time, let's wrap this
All
puppy up.
right, let's do it.
Pardon me. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great ACDC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
Yes, sir. And it looks like WrestleMania might be a pipe dream, so maybe we should plan to go to ACDC on November or April 20th.
Like the way you think.
Right? All right, guys. Guys, look, the weather's horrible. Take your time wherever you have to go. Give yourself the time, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just giving yourself 15 extra minutes. Don't speed, don't rush. Take your time. Don't get frustrated. Anger is your worst enemy because it dilutes your mind, it dilutes your thoughts, and it dilutes your logic.
Oh, one more thing I forgot to bring up. I was just talking about it on the phone prior before the show. This Friday, 7 o'clock, the beautiful and iconic Hastings Racecourse inside, of course, it's freezing out there. Canadian Apex Wrestling, 7 o'clock. Come on down, check it out. We got some Legends Wrestling, Rage Old Wrestling, indie guy. Should be a good match. It's called Striking Gold, so check it out if you're around. It should be a good show. We got a new entrance there, so it should be good. If you like
Awesome.
wrestling, come down to Vancouver, Hastings Track. Beautiful. It's one of the most
Definitely
beautiful
check it out.
backdrops
Check
in
it
all
out.
of wrestling.
Hopefully the weather clears up. The roads are better. We can get a lot of people in there. But yeah, if you got nothing to do, you're looking for something to do on
Yeah.
a blistery cold winter night, that's the place to be, man.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out. Definitely. All right. Again, like I was saying, man, anger. Do not let anger control your mind. I'm working at it every day. I'm getting better at it. But the reality of it is, my friends, anger dilutes your mind and it takes away from your logic. It takes away from logical thinking and doing things the best way possible. So guys, control your anger and remember, don't stop fighting for your goals, your dreams, your ambition because no one else is going to fight for you except yourself. Samp and Chance are out. We'll see you Thursday.